Hello, hello. This could be a different kind of video. I know I haven't been doing reviews lately. I actually stopped doing the commentaries that I was doing. Basically because I get awkward when there's other people in the house and I do this stuff because like they don't share my passion. So it's like they're like they're probably thinking, oh, this guy is pathetic or he's crazy or whatever. You know what I mean? So, and since I'm not always alone, you know what I mean, it kind of makes it feel weird, you know? So right now I'm kind of alone. I'm feeling up to doing this. But this isn't a review. There's actually been a couple of people who've inspired me to kind of get into comics a bit. Now, I've always loved comic book movies, especially Batman, The Crow, Spawn, but growing up, I was in and out of hospitals, and so I more so got into the movies and music because I can go ahead and watch a movie and that's it. I don't gotta worry every month about buying four different issues of a different of the same hero in different forms just to see connecting storylines. So what I'm doing now is I've been getting more into the comic world so I can kind of expand my knowledge on certain characters that I like. The one that mostly I've been really kind of exploring is Batman because that's always been a favorite of mine, from the Pal Wham Zap thing from when I was a kid to the Dark Knight. So yeah, so I just wanted to give you kind of an overall, look at the comics I have. Maybe make brief mentions of the ones I've actually read because I've just recently bought a whole new selection I haven't read yet. Um, and some of the people basically Laser Dude. Like I'll put the links down below when I upload the video. Laser Dude, I believe his name is Laser Dude 99. Andrew Cutter 2. They both do some really good reviews on comics. Then there's the website earth-2.net. It's a forum for people who like movies, music, video games, comic books, and you can basically just indulge yourself, talk with others. I think they've actually just started a chat system also, so you can go into the chat room and talk to others, and you know, and then of course there's History of Comics on Film, which is a program done by Derek WC, I believe it is. He has a YouTube page, but those only feature some of his early works that are under the YouTube time limit. But you can go on HOCOF.blogspot.com. That's one of the areas where you can watch his videos. But anyways, those are my shout outs, the people that basically got me into wanting to read a little bit more with the comics. So let's move on. First is Batman Chronicles Volume 1. Okay, I'm a completist. I like to just like a TV show. I like to read from start to finish. Even though this has no continuity with the stuff that's been out recently, or hell, within the last 20, 30 years, it's still prevalent because it shows you the first appearances of Batman, the first appearance of Robin, the Joker. Basically all your favorites are shown here. One of the biggest surprises for me, because I grew up obviously with like the DCAU, Batman the Animated Series, and I always loved Scarecrow. That was always a real favorite of mine. But I didn't realize that they were molding different Clayfaces together. I didn't even know there was more than one Clayface. In this book, we basically learn of the original Clayface, which was an actor, who was kind of like Mysterio in Spider-Man. He was threatening the production of a film because I believe it was he didn't get the part or whatever. So that was kind of cool. Batman's also very cruel. He actually in one point he ends up holding a gun up to threaten somebody. Which we all know that he doesn't like guns because that's what killed his parents. But this is it's really cool. This basically has Detective Comics number 27, which was made in 1939, all the way up until Detective Comics number 35 of 1940. as well as, oh, I'm sorry, no, up to Detective Comics number 38, April of 1940, and then it has Batman number 1, 1940, which that was actually the first appearance of the Joker and the Cat, aka Catwoman. Okay. Then we got Volume 2. Okay, basically these stories are mostly by Bob Kane and Bill Finger, the ones who actually created Batman. This book really delves into the partnership between Batman and Robin. Okay, it's a thicker book too. They fit it in also the World's Fair, but let me. We got Batman number 1 pinup. They actually show you the pinup that was available if you bought the actual comic. Then you got Detective Comics number 39 to 45 of November 1940. Now this is in order of how you read it, but and then it's got Batman issue number 2 and 3. Then it's got New York World's Fair comic 1940 issue, but it's only got the Batman part of that because the World Fair thing was like had Superman, Batman, Then we have Volume 3, and as you can see, I'm actually still in the middle of reading it. Once again, it's Bill Finger and Bob Kane, with Jerry Rubinstein, I believe his name, Jerry Robinson, and George Roussos also joining them. And this is Detective Comics number 46, which is December of 1940, going up to December, Detective Comics number 50, April of 41. Then we also have Batman number 5, which is spring of 1940, and World's Best Comics number 1, which was spring of 1941. Okay. Basically, it's more, you kind of start to see how, kind of catchphrases are meant, and I liked it better when Batman was less talkative, because, much more was done, Well, he was more ominous, I should say. He was more ominous than he is when he's saying, here's a lift, and does that. It's kind of starting to remind me of the 60s Batman. Then we delve into the graphic novels. Now this I actually just bought out of a whim. I knew the relationship between Batman and Talia al Ghul spawned a child that would become the next Robin, after Tim Drake, I believe. And so I bought this kind of on a whim. I wanted to see how it panned out, and I actually liked it. Grant Morrison's a pretty good writer. It's kind of cool. I love how how Damian meets Robin. He basically just kicks the shit out of him. Kind of like, I'll make a mention of that when I get to it. But yeah, the artwork's pretty good too. I'm usually into Jeff Loeb and Tim Sales, but that's the artwork. And then we get like a short little interlude called The Clown at Midnight, which I'm a huge Joker fan, so it's kind of cool. But it's mostly writing. It's kind of like a novel within a novel, But yeah, this actually goes into the resurrection of Ra's al Ghul, and it's a sequel to, I believe, I forget what the name of the comic is, but I still haven't read that either. But it's supposed to be like the death of Ra's al Ghul. Then I bought this mainly because the new Superman movie is going to have some sort of inspiration from this. But also I'm a big Smallville fan, and they revised this before it was released to incorporate some of Smallville stuff. For instance, the likeness of Jonathan Kent and Martha Kent is that of Annette O'Toole and Jonathan Snyder. I would say Jonathan Snyder. Jonathan Kent here looks a lot more like John Snyder, whereas the Martha Kent isn't as much as Annette O'Toole, as you can see right there. But this is a pretty good story. Once again, it's heavily on Lex, but, it's a pretty cool scenario and stuff. Superman's traveling the world, and he realizes that he has to have some sort of secret identity, so people don't get freaked out by him, and he can have a normal life. So yeah, definitely, this is definitely a good read, and it's thick too. As you can see, it's pretty thick. You know, this particular book also has like kind of like words from the creators and stuff. Uh, uh, then we got this. Now, don't curse me out. This is considered to be one of the best graphic novels of all time, and it definitely changed the face of Batman in the 1980s. I can definitely say that. And the story would be good if it was a little bit less writing to where you actually wanted to look at the pictures and really absorb it. But The Dark Knight Returns, I felt this was a very slow story. The artwork to me wasn't all that good. It's kind of depressing, the artwork. I'm guessing that's the whole idea. This is probably like one of the best pictures here. The Superman fight with Batman is pretty cool though. I did like that, but this is like it gets to the point where like you're reading it and you're not really paying attention to the drawings, which in my opinion that's one of the highlights of reading a comic is that you want to look at those drawings. You want to like you just want that. So yeah, I would in here basically they're showing that Superman is a government tool, and Batman's come back out of retirement because he's noticing a rise in crime again, you know, and stuff. So it's like, he has to stop Batman because Batman's doing his own brand of justice, which is a very cruel brand. I mean, this is a Batman that's not scared to kill, but basically Gotham is overrun by these mutants, or at least they call themselves the mutants. You know, yeah, and it shows here Wonder Woman pretty much gets an ass kicking also, and I don't know. I mean, I am excited to see what the animated movie is going to look like, because Legend of the Dark Knight, which is a story within the new Batman adventures, actually does an adaptation of this, and it's really good. It's a really good one too. This also has the new Robin, a female Robin. I think her name is Cassie. I forget her name. I think her name's Cassie. I read this maybe twice, because I wanted to see if I can, understand a little bit better reading it twice. It's a good story. Just it's not, oh my god, fantastic like everybody else wants.